You're all I ever wanted. You're all I ever needed. Yeah. So tell me what to do now when I want you back. Welcome to the NSYNC and Gen Con episode of Geeky Girls Night In. This is Leslie. I'm your host. Let's get it started.
Hold on to your seat.
What are you doing?
Now you're talking.
And now,
you are now listening to the Geeky Girls Night In podcast.
You are now listening to the Geeky Girls Night In
podcast.
All right, so welcome to another edition of Geeky Girls Night In. Like I said earlier, I'm your host, Leslie. Today I have with me friend of the podcast, Emily. Say hi.
Hello, listeners.
And today we also have Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hello.
And what we all have in common is that we all went to Gen Con, and it was an absolute blast. Now, before we get started talking about Gen Con, let's talk about what we're drinking tonight. So, for me, I've been dying of thirst ever since pretty much Gen Con. So, I have a giant thing of water, and I've been chugging on that all day. What about you, Emily?
I am not as grown up as you. I have not been chugging water. I have a mug that says "The future is female," and inside of it is some Basil Hayden and Pepsi.
Sounds awesome.
I have some whiskey.
I mean, I had a soda earlier, but that's, I don't know. And then last night was a cheat night because we went to the state fair, which we will get into as well. And I took a picture and it's on Instagram, and it was basically a mixed drink in a can from Seagram's, and it wasn't putrid.
That's a plus.
Good.
It wasn't great. It has watermelon and passion fruit and guava, and all I tasted was that faux fruit flavoring that you get that doesn't really taste like any fruit that you know.
Yes.
So, but it was alcoholic. It was a cheat night, so I shoveled that in my face along with pizza. It was great. What about you, Gina?
I was good earlier today, and I had a bunch of water since I was outside, but now we are drinking a Radler, which is a German beer mixed with lemonade, and it is quite refreshing.
That actually sounds really good. I want that. I may have to try that. So, my week has been a little bizarre. So, last weekend, it's been seriously 1 week since we stepped foot into Gen Con. And I'm a little sad about that. But
I missed it.
Same.
I know. But I had something waiting for me the following week, this Saturday. And that was, we were going to the Indiana State Fair. Now, typically when I go to the state fair, I look at the weather before I go, because you're not trying to have me in this hot ass sun and just roasting. But unfortunately, I had no choice but to go yesterday, and it was 86 degrees and not a cloud in the sky, and the sun was just searing. It was just hot. But I had to go because I had a meet and greet with Lance Bass.
I'm so jealous.
You look so happy in those photos.
Let me tell you about that. So I was fine. I was perfectly okay and calm and cool and collected until I was there were 2 people ahead of me, maybe 3, before I got my picture taken. And there were some other girls that I had been chit-chatting with in the line. And then I happened to kind of peer around the fence, as I do. And I'm like, he's right there. He's right there. He's right there. Right. And the girls are like, what? What is she saying? And I'm like, because I'm talking so fast, you can't understand. He right there. That's it. He's right there. He's right there. And she's like, he's right there. And they all kind of like lean like I was leaning so they could see. And they're like, he's right there. So it was just, you know what? Like, I have never felt love like that before. Like, it was just a bunch of NSYNC fangirls that absolutely adore Lance, and fan guys. There were guys there too. And I have to tell you the funniest story about the whole situation. So I bought my meet and greet like a month ago, I think, something like that. And on the meet and greet on Facebook, where, you know, everybody was gathering, you know, people were like, when are we going to get the information for this? What's going to happen? This, that, and the other. Somebody popped in. They had done it before, that was experienced. And they were like, well, the actual purchasing of the meet and greets doesn't end until 2 or 3 days before the meet and greet. So you won't get any information until those 2 or 3 days. And so y'all need to calm the fuck down, is basically how she was, because everybody was freaking out. And so, like, one guy in the group was like, I just got my email. So I immediately hopped over to my email. And yes, there was an email from I guess she's a manager. She's kind of like his handler. And she handles a lot of people, actually. Like, I now stalk her on Instagram. So it's not my fault. The Lance Bass street team like tagged my photos and they're like, can we use these on our page? And I was like, yes. And she's in one of them, and so they tagged her. So I'm like, bitch, is fair game. So so that happened. And then a day later, she's like, I know this. She emailed everybody, like she CC'd everybody in this email. And she's like, I know this is a long shot, but does anybody know? And she named a person. And she's like, they paid for this, but their email keeps bouncing back. And maybe who I am, I'm not going to let you miss out on an event like this. I'm going to try and find your ass. So, like, I had her name, and I went to Facebook, immediately went to Facebook, and I put in her name because it wasn't a really common name. And so I put in her name, and I found somebody that was in the Indiana area with that name. And I messaged her, and I was like, you don't know me. But by chance, are you signed up for a Lance Bass experience? And she never responded. So fast forward to yesterday, and there was a girl standing next to me, and she's like, man, poor, and she said the girl's full name. And she's like, I was like, you know what? I tried to reach out to her on Facebook. She's like, oh my God, so did I. And I was like, we're not weird. We're not weird at all. And so then, like, she starts screaming, and I'm like, what's wrong? Is it Lance? And she's like, no. She's like, there's the girl. And like, she pointed, and I looked, and it was the girl. I swear to God, it was the girl from Facebook that I had looked up. So she's like, I swear to God, that's her. So we grabbed the lady, and we're like, that's so-and-so. And she's like, oh, do y'all know her? No, we don't. And
we stalked her on Facebook. It's fine.
We didn't even get that far. And we're like, but that's her. And so she goes up to her, and she's like, excuse me, miss, what's your name? And she says her name. And like, me and the girl, it was like a touchdown happened. We start screaming, and we're high-fiving each other. We're like, yes. We're here for you and Lance. And she didn't have all the experience. She didn't get to have her experience.
Why?
Because it was okay. So she said that it was okay, that her money had gotten returned to her, like her money had gotten refunded once they couldn't reach her. The handler was like, that don't sound right at all, because we don't return shit. So like she didn't, like, the handler offered to give her like the wristband and everything, and she's like, no, I got my money back, it's fine, it's okay. And then the handler came up and she looked at me and the other girl, she's like, we're gonna talk later about how you knew that was her. It's fine, it's okay. And she walked off, and I'm like, are we in trouble? I hope we're not in trouble. I didn't do it. I was trying to help somebody. She's not gonna bar me from Lance, is she? I'll fight her. Like, she's not that much taller than I am. I'm pretty sure I could take her. And like, my husband's here and everything. He's got my back. It's fine. So, and I also made a friend in line. Shout out to Stacia. We're best friends now. We're gonna hang out and freak out together. And she got the package where she was the roadie, or like the social media manager for the concert. So she got to hand out the wristbands. She got to hand out the autograph photos. She got to like just like be right there all the time, just like right next to Lance. And at the end of the show, which I didn't stick around for the show because I wasn't interested in the show, I was just there for Lance. She got to take a selfie on stage with him.
Oh, cool.
So she's my friend now. We're friends. Shout out to her. And then shout out to, what is that girl's name? Who, like, she was the only other black girl. Her name on Instagram is Turtle Sensei. I don't know her name in real life, but she's like, who you? And I'm like, I'm Leslie. Hi. And we talked for a minute, and I gave her a podcast button, and she's like, well, what's the podcast about? And I'm like, geek shit. She's like, I like you. So she seems awesome. Like, I now stalk her on Instagram too. We're all friends. We're just gonna like handles and hope for an NC reunion concert. Yeah. So that was my Lance Bass experience in a nutshell.
Yay, congratulations.
It sounds so much fun.
Look, I was fucking dressed to the nines, and like I went to work with a full face of makeup on, which never happens. And like, I'm like, this is stupid. This is stupid on my behalf, because we're going to be at the fair and it's 178 billion degrees outside. And you know what? I was right. But I was also sort of wrong. Like, going through the fair, I was fine. I was okay. But the note that they sent us said that we needed to be where we needed to be at 5 p.m. sharp. Do not be late, because bitch, you will lose your turn. I was there at 4:45, present and accounted for. She didn't show up till like 5:30. By that point, like, my face had melted off, and I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I tried. And then I sent the photo to everybody. I sent it to coworkers. I sent it to my boss. Somebody said it should be my Christmas card.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think we may have to make that work. So yeah, that was great. And I got an elephant ear, and husbando had a donut burger.
Ooh, is that where the bun's a donut?
Yes.
Excellent.
He enjoyed it. Also, if you go to the state fair and you have children, if you go on the site and then go to the milk barn and then go to the milk barn link, there's a sheet that you can print out and have your kid color. And it used to be you got a free kids meal, but now it's only half off. But still, half off a grilled cheese, applesauce, and a cup of milk.
Nice.
Yes, Evelyn enjoyed it very much so.
Yay. All
right, so let's get to the task at hand here. Let us talk about Gen Con. So, Emily, was this your first time going to Gen Con?
This is my first time. Gina has been trying to talk me into doing it for years, and I should have listened to her, and I didn't.
Yay! I was right about a thing.
Well, see, I don't know if you're like me, but like the whole convention thing terrified me. Because I'm like, that's a lot of people. Are people going to be mowing me down? Am I going to have to talk to people? This
legitimate fear.
Yeah. So, I was very I want to go to cons, but I'm scared for the longest time. And this was like the last Gen Con was my first convention period ever, and I went by myself, and I had so much fun that I went again this year. Hooray! Gina, you've been several times.
We actually started going when they moved Gen Con to Indianapolis, which was 2003. When I say we, I mean the person I eventually ended up marrying. When it first came to Indy, it was kind of cute. He's like, hey, there's a gaming convention coming to Indianapolis. You want to go? I'm like, what's a convention? Because it was 2003.
Right.
And the first year we went down, Indianapolis was clearly not prepared for what was about to happen.
Oh no.
By the time Saturday rolled around, we went to go get dinner at the Ram, and it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So the kitchen hadn't closed yet, but we sat down and our waitress came over and she's like, okay, listen, this is what we're out of. We are out of fries. We are out of this. We are out of carrot cake, and they were out of Mountain Dew.
Of course they were out of Mountain Dew.
It's a game convention. Your Mountain Dew supply should be topped off.
There's just barrels of Mountain Dew syrup in the back.
Have your shit ready.
Oh,
but yeah, we've been going to Gen Con since 2003. We did the math. This would have been our 17th Gen Con. So next year, our con will be able to vote.
yay!
It's like, oh, you're a big girl now.
Can we actually register it and make sure that it doesn't vote for the orangutan that's currently in office?
If we could get the con to vote, we would get her to vote.
Okay. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna see what I can do.
I didn't see him here this year, but I know last year there was a lot of hoopla. But there was actually a booth sponsored by Cards Against Humanity called Vote for America or something like that. And they were just registering people to vote. And there was so much hoopla on the Facebook forums. I was like, I hate people.
Well, we're going to get to the Facebook forums because they are... Woo! Don't mention cosplay deviants in front of them. Don't do it.
I missed that. The thing I constantly see on the Gen Con Facebook forum is this. So you buy your con ticket in January.
Okay.
Events go on sale in May. Like they'll release a giant Excel sheet of events.
Yep.
And it takes me like 2 to 3 days to sort through. Like, what am I gonna do? And you buy your events in May. And it never fails. There's always a ton of these people who go, all the events I wanted sold out. What am I gonna do at the con?
So here's the thing with that. So I didn't get my ticket till last minute because the thing that I was counting on did not come to fruition. And the only reason that I got to go was through the grace of Emily. So yeah, a lot of the stuff I wanted to do is sold out. But the thing that I learned last year was that even if your stuff is sold out, show up.
Yes.
Exactly.
Show up.
Buy some generics. Just go. The class that Gina and I did, half the people didn't show up.
Yeah, they were talking about that in the group, and I'm so irritated because I broke my own rule. I wanted to do that, but I didn't show up because I saw the cost on it. It was like $30-something. Yeah.
Yep. It was $34, and you got to make 4 pint glasses.
Yeah, it was $34, and I was like, oh, there's not going to be any cancellations on that. That's $34 damn dollars. That's a manicure fill. Nobody's gonna. It's gonna be packed to the balls. No. And then like I get on the Facebook page because I live for drama. And they were like, and the person that, no, it wasn't the person that was running it. It was somebody complaining on their behalf because they had to eat the cost of those supplies. Yeah. Stuff like that. And because the people didn't show up.
Well, I think the craft people, the one that we did the event for, came from Ohio, So they had to put all that stuff in a truck, drive it out here, and whatever was left, they had to drive back home. Now imagine you had to fly in.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
Yeah. And yes, it is irritating that if you get your ticket at the last minute, like we did, stuff sold out, but you have just got to show up. Another example of that is the playtest, where you are testing games for new developers. And I showed up at the 8:00 one on time. Was like, I ain't got a ticket. What can you do for me? And they're like, girl, here, take this number. And you just wait. We're going to get to you. There's plenty. We're going to get to you. And I'm like, okay. And that's where I ended up playing a game that was both hilarious, confusing, and I understood it at the end. Like,
what is it called?
Oh my God. You would ask.
Oh, yes.
I know.
Don't tell me about a cool thing and then not tell me about the cool thing.
Right? While I'm looking for the name of it, because I took a picture of the actual game, so I know what the name is. But like it's like about Japanese culture, and you're earning honor, and like the man was explaining it to me, and I'm just staring at him like, I don't this girl, I don't. Like, I was just making all sorts of weird, ominous noises, and like the people at the table were like, "Are you okay?" I'm fine. Clandestine is the name of it. And so he's explaining it. I'm confused. Like, I am properly, and it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I need to focus because this is a game that I've never played. I've got to put my listening ears on. And he explained it, and I listened as hard as I could, and I was like, I don't. And like the board and his explanation didn't make sense. And I'm like, okay, well, we're doing all this, but you've got this running through it. What the hell is this? And he's like, oh, that's when you count your honor. And I'm like, what? Shit. Where do the ninjas come in? What? You said your damn ninjas would take care of RoboCop. What? And like, I'm losing it.
Oh my God.
It was like, it was ridiculous, but slowly but surely, like, pieced it together, started understanding, and like played, and I lost epically, and I was kind of upset about that because I'm a sore loser. But it actually ended up being fun. At first I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. And the only reason I went back to them was because I played that boy band game last year, and I was like, maybe there's something else like that there, and there wasn't. And like the other lady basically foisted me at this game, and she's like, oh, they want somebody in your age range, and they want a girl. And I'm like,
you're like, I am both those things.
I am, but like, she didn't even give me a chance to see what was down there. She's like, they need you. And I'm like, okay, all right. But it ended up being okay. It ended up being hilarious, and he got a lot of feedback from it. Like, I didn't have any feedback because like I was borderline confused the whole time. I was just like, how am I supposed to say I'm fucking confused? What? Like, I have no positive feedback. Just know I enjoyed playing this once I eventually understood what the hell was going on. And he was like, oh, that's feedback, that works. I'm like, okay, there you go. Mazel tov. But yeah, like, people had like serious constructive like criticisms, feedback. It was really nice to see. So I do enjoy that. But that's one of the things that I followed my just show up, because not everybody that signs up for it is going to be there thing.
You'd be surprised the amount of people who are like, I'm gonna do this event at 8 a.m. on Saturday, and then unfortunately they went out Friday night
and just got plastered.
Got super wasted. And that happened a few years in a row, where if there's an event you really want to do, show up with generics, tell the GM, I don't have tickets for this event, And most DMs are really cool. Like, well, I had it for 6 players, but I can squeeze in 2 more.
Okay.
Or they'll wait, like, we'll wait 15 minutes, and if the other players don't show up with their tickets, you can sit in. I mean, if you ask, and even if you, like, go into the room and that game is sold out, some other DM in there might need players.
And one of the things that I'm concerned with, like, when joining, like, that's another reason why I do the play testing, because I know for a fact I don't need any type of skill to do what you need. Like, you want me to come in there stupid. Like, I'm terrified to join a game with a DM and, like, I show up and I'm like, I'm here, played D&D total 5 times, I can do this. And, I mean, for the most part, like, when you pull up the Great Big Catalog, there'll be like a little section that defines, experience needed. And a lot of the times it's, rules will be taught. Like, when I first went to Gen Con, I had never played Call of Cthulhu. Mm-hmm. And I sat down and he's like, okay, here is your game sheet. Here are the dice you need. And you need to just roll under this score. And if you have any questions, ask. Don't get me wrong, it's always a crapshoot. You don't know who you're getting. You don't know who you're going to play with until you sit down at that table. I've had amazing DMs, and I've tried to remember them over the years so I can go back and visit them. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have shit DMs. Or, like, I had a really awesome DM and a table full of shitheads. Oh, damn.
And I was like, you have ruined what could have been a truly awesome game with your shitheadery. And even the DM and I were locking eyes, and we were telepathically communicating. Can you believe these shitheads?
I love that. Oh my god.
I was like, no, I can't. Can you just kill them?
Do something.
Can the bullets fly now, please?
Oh my gosh. So, tell me this. What did you guys look most forward to? The games or the dealer hall? Or the crafts?
I was really excited to do the dealer hall because I had some very specific purchases in mind that I wanted.
Yes.
So I know, Leslie, you got your Octo mug that you were very excited about. I got a dice tray that I'm very excited about. Because we went on Saturday, some of the exclusives that I wanted were already sold out, which was fine. But yeah, it was. I was really excited to do the dealer hall, and then next year I know I want to go back and I want to play more games. Like, I didn't know how much time I wanted to commit.
Right.
But next year I definitely want to do, because there was like a Call of Cthulhu that I was thinking about doing, but it was a 5-hour campaign.
Yeah, that was a LARP, and I saw that. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool, but I don't know if Emily's going to want to do a 5-hour LARP. And we were also cosplaying Saturday, and that went to shit. Stupid wig.
I mean, it happens. It happens. Oh, crap. I just realized I need to, after we end the podcast tonight, I have to drive to Walmart.
Oh, no.
I know that's completely random, but there's a reason. So, like, we played Sparkle Kitty.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Excuse me. We played Sparkle Kitty, and though it was fun, it was hilarious, it was cute, and it's not a game for me per se. Although, like, I don't have many people to play games with, and like if I play games with my husband, like I don't think he's gonna want to do Sparkle Kitty.
No, I looked at it, I was like, I'm not gonna buy this. I'm not gonna be able to play this at home with anybody.
Right. But I thought it would be a great game to give away on the podcast. So they were sold out of it at Gen Con. And so like I just happened to like do my Googles, and it was $10 at Walmart.
Yes. That actually might be cheaper than what it was at the con.
Yes,
definitely.
It was. So I bought 2 copies. I'm going to give one away on the podcast, and then Quinzel is going to give one away on the blog. Haven't figured out how I'm going to do it on the podcast yet, but we'll get there. Sorry about that. Anyway, back to the whole situation. Walmart. Ugh.
Free
Anyway,
things.
yes, free things. So keep in mind, stay tuned for other episodes when I get my life figured out. So the dealer haul was a little scary. It wasn't as bad as it was last year for me. Like last year, it felt like a crush of people. This year, like I had space to maneuver, and there's even a video on Instagram where like I'm maneuvering through people and talking about mowing down hoes. So you can kind of see that I had room and space to move about, and like the backpack gang was out in full force. And when I say backpack gang, I want people to understand I'm not talking about those people with like standard backpacks on. I have no beefs with you. We ain't got problems. Hell, I had one on. I'm talking about you look like you're going to go hiking in the mountains for 3 weeks. You is who I got problems with.
I saw a few of those and I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I have that in my garage when I go backpacking.
Right.
You don't need that here.
Right. And I'm wondering if that guy that got testy with me on the Facebook site had one of those on. And like, so it made me want to fight everybody. Like anybody that came across, because he was like, you're going to get kicked out of the pond if you roundhouse kick somebody. And I'm like, bitch, I'm going to find you.
It's called the internet. It's called sarcasm.
Right.
Figure it out.
Right. And it's like Kim said, she's like, I'd be really surprised if you could like kick your leg that high. That would be amazing. I'm like, but she's right. So, but yeah, I wondered if he was out there. It seemed like people that were in the motorized scooters had space to maneuver. Though I did see a guy, it seemed like it was his first time on one of those motorized scooters, and he did a reverse and ran over somebody's sign, and as a result it was like a bump, and he was like airborne for a second, and I'm like, oh, he gonna die. And it didn't even faze him. Like because he was doing it in reverse, he hit that bump, he went airborne, he came back down, threw his scooter into forward and kept it pushing. And I'm like, oh.
He had things to do, Leslie.
He did. And I'm so glad I wasn't behind him. It was scary. What was the best game that you played, Gina?
There were two of them. One was a board game and one was an RPG. The board game was called Good Dog, Bad Zombie by, oh God, what was her name? I think it's Make Big Things. I'll have to double check it before we leave. But it was like a little board. I want to say it was about 14 inches. And you played it's a cooperative game. It's like Pandemic, except you have dogs. You play has different breeds of dogs, and you have to save people from zombies.
Oh.
And they said each token's like a little different dog, and the goal of the game is to save 6 people and get them to Central Park.
Oh my God.
Before, there's a thing called the Feral Tracker. If you've played like Arkham Horror or Elder Sign, there's like a little tracker that the more it goes up, the worse it gets.
Okay.
And your goal is to save the 6 people before the feral tracker reaches 10. Once it reaches 10, you lose, your dogs have gone feral. But the board has little squares. On one side is cliffs, the other side is river, and you can either push the zombies off the cliffs or into the river. Your doggos can chew them to death. And yeah, you save your peoples. And like I said, each square is like a different number. Like they had a square called the car garden or the dangerous place, the vet. Or the best place, PetSmart.
So cute.
And, luckily the DM was very impressed with us. He's like, oh, you guys, we won our game. He's like, oh, the last group couldn't figure this out at all, and their dogs went feral. And I was like, that is a bummer. I was kind of bummed they didn't have it. The vendor was not there to sell it, so I bought it online. Okay. It is currently in Iowa.
Oh gosh.
I was like, where is my game? It's in Iowa. Shit. The other one I played is an RPG called Monsters and Other Childish Things. It's by a publisher called Arc Dream. And what it is you are children and you have a monster, an actual monster.
Okay.
That you and your friends can see. And the scenario we played was called the Lock-In Lockdown. And we were students getting ready to go into high school, and we were doing what they called a lock-in, where you go to. For those who don't know, you go into school after dark. They lock you in, pizza, karaoke, games, whatever. And for some unknown reason, one of our acquaintances decided this would be a good time to summon a demon.
What?
Excellent.
And our job was to save her from hell.
Okay.
And we all had our little monsters. My player character was a boy who liked EDM, and my monster was a flying pig called Cannon and D. However, what you do is you have your player character, but you slide your monster to the right, and the person to your right plays your monster, so you're not talking to yourself the entire time.
Okay.
So my monster was a fairy named Summer.
Oh.
And she was the happiest thing. She just wanted to inspire hope and change like Oprah and Ellen.
Look at her.
And it's a horror comedy, and I had so much fun doing it. And I was like, I gotta play this next year.
That sounds like an absolute blast.
The people I played with had so much fun doing their monsters. Like one monster was called Blue, and that was just his thing. He was blue, and he believed in justice.
Oh my god. Okay, so before we get to talking about Emily and games, we're going to take a quick break, pay the bills, and we will be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bill and Frank Eat Pop Culture.
The Bill and Frank Eat Pop Culture Podcast, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and at the website baggedboardedandboxed.com.
The entire commode shifts.
I feel like you leave the log.
I wiped, I cleaned up, I left it.
Two completely unqualified, self-proclaimed experts discuss television.
Varys drops his robe, and he's got this huge
He's really been playing the Game of Thrones.
Movies.
James Cameron is a douchebag.
Comics.
Mystique can grow airplane wings.
What?
Well, she's a shapeshifter.
And professional wrestling.
This is not a wrestling podcast.
Lashley is just a dial tone. Like, who cares?
Dial tone.
Already many great episodes for you to binge listen to. Go catch up now. Bill and Frank Eat Pop Culture. Go listen, download, and subscribe today.
I am wearing pants, but no underwear.
And so we are back, and Gina has found the name of the company that makes the dog game.
Yes, Good Dog, Bad Zombie. The name of the publisher is Make Big Things. Awesome. And they looks like they have several cute games that I need to demo them all now.
Yes. All right. So Emily, like, other than Sparkle Kitty and that one weird game where we had to fit all the animals on the
raft.
Yeah. Did you demo anything else?
I didn't. I walked around a lot.
So much
walking. I really next year want to demo more. I just wasn't sure how to allocate my time since we only had the one day.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely want to demo more next year. I'm half tempted to go for VIG next year.
Are you really?
Oh, the lottery of fun.
The lottery of fun. Yeah.
Have you ever done VIG?
Me?
Yeah.
No, we had kind of debated about it on and off for years, but we're like, we've had good luck with the hotels. We really haven't needed it. But I think it was 2016. We got kind of hosed by the room lottery, and we had to stay out by the airport. And it was a rough go because my husband was running games at 8:00 in the morning and going till midnight.
Oh wow!
And so we wouldn't get back to the room till like 1:30, pass out around 2, and then get back up at 6 or 7 and start our day over. That con was rough. We have friends who've done the VIG. That's how we got a room downtown last year, was through a friend who had a VIG badge. Okay. So the VIG badge, like, you enter a lottery, they pull your name. I think the VIG badge is $650, but you get first dibs at the hotel lottery. You don't have to stand in will call. You just go to the VIG room and say, I need my badge and my tickets, and they will send a runner to go get those for you.
And that's another thing. If your friends aren't VIG and they're with you, they'll use that same runner for them.
Yes. They have, like, I guess a coat check, which would have been awesome. I could have dropped stuff off there and not had to run back and forth between my husband upstairs and back to my hotel room.
Yes.
They have a lounge with soda. That's awesome. I wouldn't have to steal from the Rio Grande room.
Is that the room I stole the drinks from?
Yes, that was the room where we were trying to play the game where we had to basically usher in the Bronze Age.
Yes.
Yes. And I don't understand this game. The guy's like, it's really complicated, but I guess I could teach you. We're like, no, we're just
gonna sit here and take your free drinks.
Exactly. We're just gonna chill in your hospitality suite. Shout out to Rio Grande Games.
Thank you, y'all. Y'all so nice. I mean, y'all had chicken and waffle sandwiches. I didn't partake of it. Like, we saw the line and we're like, oh, that has to be for their workers. Because, like, who's giving out food? But no, they were giving out food. They had like a huge thing of drinks. I was shoving drinks in my backpack. Like this is so fancy. Oh my God.
To be fair, I think I have supported Rio Grande Games with my sister-in-law buying several copies of Dominion, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I have paid for my Rio Grande drinks.
Yes.
It was just really nice of them, and I filled up my water bottle, and apparently I still didn't drink enough because I was dehydrated as hell for the next 2 days.
Yes,
but thank you, Rio Grande. Call me. But yeah, we like I said, first of all, their website is a little kludgy, and as a result, I get intimidated, and their search engine doesn't make sense. Like, I was searching for First Exposure, the playtest games, and like I would type in First Exposure and nothing would come up. Turns out you need to have quotes around everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
If you put quotes around First Exposure, pops up Simple Pimple. But I'm like, what kind of non-Googling bullshit is this? And I'm just like, I'm like, Gen Con. Actually, let me do that now. Hold up, y'all. Gen Con. Hi. My name is Leslie. I have a degree in computer information technology with a specialty in Microsoft networking. That I don't use the Microsoft networking part because I hate networking. I like databases and I like figuring out puzzles. And Gen Con, quite frankly, your website is a fucking puzzle. So, for the low price of like 4 passes and, you know, maybe some swag, like I would help to work on a volunteer basis on your website. Like I would need a little training. I'm not even gonna lie, because I've been on the infrastructure side of IT for the 150 years that I've been doing it. But I'm innovative, I'm smart, and I'm a person of color, which, you know, you had a few chocolate chips floating around this, but not a whole hell of a lot. So, you know, you could like throw that on your little, you know, badge. We hire minorities. Call me.
Oh, speaking of, you know, I got to give a shout out. I saw, okay, so there was over 70,000 people at the convention from all over the country, from like US to Australia to Asia. I saw the entire time I was there, I saw 2 MAGA hats, just 2. I can't count the number of ally or gamer or the my pronoun, he, him, her. So,
or I will go to the bathroom with you if you need it.
Yes, I have that button on my badge.
Yes.
Yay.
Because I guess there was some IC. I don't think it was the Gen Con volunteers.
No, they were very clear that it was the ICC employees.
So I was like, just leave. No, let people go to the bathroom. I just ask that they wash their hands. That's all I want. Just wash your hands.
Exactly. And the ICC has had problems with this before, I've heard. So this wasn't out of the norm. And yeah, and that's another thing. Let me make another plea real quick, y'all. Hold up. Hi. Leslie again. If you are ever in a situation where you don't feel safe enough to go to the bathroom, and you know that I'm around somewhere, you can tweet me. Please don't call me. I won't answer a phone. And I will come and I will find you and we will go to the bathroom together and we will have a conversation about whatever you need to have a conversation about, because all you want to do is pee. Possibly number 2. That ain't my business. My business is that you get to the bathroom safely. That is what I am here for. Also, Gen Con, you could possibly hire me for that too.
There's a bathroom escort.
Yeah, I would do that. That's I have an issue with bathrooms, but it's not that, whoever's using them. I just think bathrooms are kind of gross. And the stuff that you do in bathrooms is gross. But that's just a personal issue of mine, and I will not let it mess with my ability to do good hair or help somebody in the bathroom. Yeah, that's all.
So I was like, yes, we are a very diverse, inclusive, genuinely nice group of people.
Yes. I will say one of my favorite moments of the con was watching Leslie lose her ever-loving mind over a roaming group of Pikachus.
I missed that. I got separated from you guys, and I missed Leslie's freak out about the roving band of Pikachus.
Listen. They gave me a hug, and I swear to God, my depression was cured for all of 30 seconds.
Literally, you could see her just ascending into another plane of existence.
I'm like, oh my God, this is what normal feels like.
There was 3 Pikachus, and then there was clearly the off-brand Pikachu. At the very end,
he's like
Pikamew, he wasn't quite he
didn't curl quite all the way over, but you know what? He was appreciated nonetheless. I showed that picture at work, and they were like, "What's wrong with him?" Absolutely nothing, sir.
He did his best.
Exactly, and I appreciated his best so much.
I had a minor freak out over Gandog. I was so happy to see Gandog.
Look,
I'm so glad we got to meet Gandog. Gandog is amazing.
Emily, you almost lost. You almost ran off with the badge holder.
I did. I'm like, do I throw money at this guy? Do I steal this? What do I gotta get to Gandog.
I just started screaming. I was like, it's Gandog! Where's everybody at? And he just picked up Gandog like he was a sack of potatoes.
He's like, here, do you want to hold him? Oh, so those who don't know, Gandog is a little support. I think he's a schnauzer.
He is a schnauzer, yes.
He's a support schnauzer who gets dressed up. His owner dresses him up, has either Gandalf or a pirate, and he will let you, as long as you ask, can I pet your dog? And you can pet him, you can hold him, you can take pictures with him. Has a dog mom. I was suffering dog withdrawal, so it was nice to pet a puppy.
He was so sweet. He was like, here, take dog. I'm like, oh!
A PSA, if a service dog is working, Gandog is very unique in that he allows himself to be interrupted while he is working. Most service dogs don't interrupt them while they are working.
And they usually have on a vest that says, I'm working.
Yes. Don't touch me.
Right. And as a matter of fact, don't straight off the bat touch Gandog. You need to interact with his owner. Because,
yes.
Gandog has his times too where he needs to kind of chill out. And as a matter of fact, his owner was on the way to kind of get him some shade and some cool air. And he just stopped out of the kindness of his heart. Because also I was screaming at the top of my fucking lungs. Like he wasn't going nowhere.
My only regret was I did not have dog treats on me for Gandog.
Right. Oh my god.
Next year, I need to remember to just carry dog treats around for all the cosplay dogs.
Yes, and then there's other like emotional support or like just period support animals because one of them was getting a little testy. That Gandog was getting all the attention. They're like, "There's this dog town." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see him." Like I saw Gandog last year and didn't get to pet him. Like I just saw him in pictures. And also, Gandog gives autographs.
Yes, I need to sign up for one. I saw his posting in the Gen Con group.
Yeah, he has a website and you can sign up and he'll send you an autographed picture of Gandog and like Gandog autographs it with his paw autographs. Yes. So that was awesome. Painting the minifigure made me realize that, you know, like I buy art supplies like it's nothing. And I can't art.
No, I like to imagine I can art and I can't.
Right. Like it's gonna be a hoarding issue eventually. But that was so bad. But we also had a lively discussion on the term spicy white. And like I felt bad for the poor man that was next to me because I could feel him side-eyeing.
I'm pretty sure all the dudes at that table were side-eyeing us like, really?
What the hell is she talking? Because they're like beautiful, elegant, like these painted figures, and we're slapping paint on, and I'm like, Ariana Grande, spicy white.
I like to pretend I'm Ariana Grande when I'm at the gym. When that music video she's in, she just looks so pretty on the bike. I'm like, that's me.
That is so not me at the gym. I'm gasping.
And I know it's not me, but in my head, that's what keeps me going.
I hope you have that song on a playlist. I forget what it's called, but
oh God, it's with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, it is. It's
Leslie,
like,
did you order your mini?
Oh yeah. When I sent you that picture, that was the rendering of it. That's what I got.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm so excited.
It should be here on Monday. That's another thing. So there were 2 places where you could order minifigures from different companies for like your games. I forget the one, and that was the one that I initially talked to.
Eldridge?
Eldridge. They were having a few problems when I went over there. Number one, they were busy as all hell. And their pads, they're like little pads that you could design on, kept freezing. I'm like, you know what? You have all these people around you. You know, I'm not going to be a bother. I'm going to step away and you deal with what you need to do. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. This is a lot, and these people are being very rude and very impatient towards you, and you're dealing with a lot. I'm not going to be a bother for you. I'm not going to do it. I'll be back later. And I had planned on going back later, but then I ran into Hero Forge, who also does like the little minifigures. And they weren't doing them at the convention. They were just handing out information, and they were handing out a coupon code. And so I took the coupon code, and the main thing that I was having problems with is that my character in D&D is a dwarf ranger that runs around with a horse head with a cape attached to it.
Oh my God.
Right. And I'm like, how am I supposed to find that custom? Like, who's gonna do that for me? And I get over to Hero Forge, and they don't have the horse head, but what they have is like a wolf cape. And with a little bit of imagination, I can make that work. So like my figure is absolutely perfect. Like,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
I can't get over how good that figure is. Like, tell me you're going to put it in the show notes.
Well, yeah, I think I can do that, or like I can put it on Instagram and link to it. But like, well, actually, what I was going to do is wait till it got here and just take a picture of it. But her mouth is wide open, and she's got like this like Joker grin on her face. She's like, ah, and like holding 2 beer steins in one hand, a bow and arrow in the other, and there's like empty bottles around her feet.
Yes, it is magical.
That is a dwarf.
Yes, that is my dwarf. That is Andy.
Who is your ranger companion?
It's a mastiff named Wibble.
That's right.
and I couldn't find, like, they had like little animals, but they didn't have like a dog. Like they had a cat. Boo hiss.
Dogs are superior anyway.
They really are. Shout out to my toothless baby upstairs. Artist Alley. Let's talk a little bit about that. That was amazing.
Yes.
I got some fantastic art, and Gina was so kind to run back and get some more art so that I have more giveaways for the podcast later, because Gina lives in the middle of nowhere. And
I live in Notre Dame land.
Well, that's not the middle of nowhere. That's not too bad. I was in the middle of nowhere earlier this week, like checking out a store, and it was very scary. It's like, but there'll be art to give away, and it's art made by people of color and that are queer. And turns out that, like, I showed the art to Quinzel, and Quinzel's like, "Oh, that's Brittany so and so." I'm like, "How the hell did?" She's like, "Girl, do you even read your own blog?" I interviewed them.
Oh my god!
I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't realize that was them." Okay. Well, now they got a button for the podcast too. Hey girl, hey.
And I stumbled across them by accident. I normally don't venture into the Artist Alley, Author Alley, because I feel bad because art is expensive and I don't buy it, and the artist is right there looking at you.
Right. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted a new book to read. I had like, my Thursday was really slow. I had like a lot of time between events, and I was like, I want books. So I stumbled over to the Author Alley, and I picked up a book series called The Daughters of Arkham. And if you like H.P. Lovecraft and cults, this is for you. I was willing to overlook the teenage love triangle because there's a cult.
I mean, hey.
And the 14-year-old girl actually does stuff. She's an actual character. And I was surprised. It was written by guys, and the 14-year-old girl does stuff.
Awesome.
I liked it so much, I got halfway through the first book, and I was like, shit, I gotta go back and buy the second one.
Is it a trilogy?
I don't know. I'm in the middle of the second one right now. Knowing my luck, it probably is a trilogy, but the third one's not out yet, and I'm gonna be annoyed.
I hate that.
That's what happens every time.
Yep. I just got finished reading The Bells. Well, not just finished, but it's about, I talked about it on the podcast before. It's a post-apocalyptic in New Orleans. Everybody's ugly.
I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, everybody's ugly. They have like gray, ashy skin and like bad hair follicles and shit, except for these specific women that are born beautiful and have the ability to give beauty. And it was a fascinating, captivating read. And then like it ended, and I'm like, well, shit, where's book 2? And like I'm like trying to hunt it down. It's like, book 2 is not out yet, and we don't know when it's gonna be out yet. And I was just like screaming bloody murder. But it came out, and I finished book 2, and honestly, I am quite pleased. They could end it here, or they could even add another book. So check out The Bells. That was actually a really good. It's fascinating because like if beauty's a commodity in real life, but if it was a commodity like gold, like food on your table, like it, oh my god, Kim Kardashian would be like a quadrillionaire. I don't know, even more rich than she already is. Okay, all right, anyway, back to the matter at hand, back to Artist Alley.
Emily, we missed, I can't remember his name, the guy he did like the really cute, like Ron Swanson print. Oh God, why can't I remember that dude's name? He was there, Andrew something. We missed Andrew.
Oh, yes. He did the burger battle game.
Yes. I didn't realize, I was looking around for books to read and missed him.
I love Artist Alley. It's one of the places that whenever I go to a con, I spend quite a bit of time. It's just so interesting to see all the stuff that these independent artists come up with. Like, I can't color like inside of a box to save my life, and people are like, "Here, look at this beautiful thing I rendered."
Right?
I'm like, I would like to throw some quarters at you.
Yeah. Please take
I'd
my
like to
money
buy the thing. Yes.
and let me buy this because it's beautiful and
Like-
it needs to be on my wall.
Like, I'm currently sitting on my bed in my bedroom looking at just a pile of art from various cons. I just need to eventually hang up on my walls.
Right? Like I was good. I was good this time because I'm really bad about like buying art and then it just collects dust on the dining room table.
Yes.
I bought frames.
Ooh, good.
Right? I bought frames, but I only bought 3 frames because I only bought like 3 art at that point, but now I got like 5. And I don't know. And then I was like, hey, husbando, I want to hang this downstairs in the dungeon. And I'm like, these walls are weird. He's like, that's because they're drywall. And I'm like, okay, so like, what do I
can hang this or no? Like,
right, I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, you wait. You wait, you let me do it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, can you do? That's the worst part is I'm pretty sure we have art from previous Gen Cons floating around our house somewhere that needs a frame. It's just like we'll get to that and then we never do.
It's so simple. Like as long as you know the size of your art and you know what your style is. Like I got like the cheap poster frames, you know, because it's gonna be down in the dungeon. Like nobody's gonna see it but me and husband though, and maybe Evelyn if she ever comes down here, but she doesn't. So it works and it's cute and I'm ready. And he can't hang it up right now because he's currently building a gazebo in the backyard. And he's like, my weekend is spent doing that. You're gonna have to pencil it in another time. Damn it. I want my art hung now.
But you're getting a gazebo.
I really am, and I'm so excited because like there's no shade in the backyard, and if you sit out there, you roast like a duck. And so this is very appreciated. But like I've barely seen him all day because he's been building a gazebo, and then like he was at Home Depot and he found like we were gonna order new like outdoor furniture, and he ordered it from Sears, and then he took a picture and was like, this is the stuff that I ordered from Sears, because like I'm like, I don't care as long as it fits my butt. And he's like, I ordered this from Sears, but they have it at Home Depot for the same price and it's taking forever to ship. I'm gonna order it here, or I'm gonna get it here and cancel because I also have my father's truck. And I was like, I don't care. I'm not the numbers person, you are. You know better than I do. And as long as my butt fits, I sits. So
Yes.
yeah. So what was your favorite like discovery? Discovery. What was your favorite discovery in Artist Alley? Your favorite thing that you found that you're like, oh, yes.
Oh, it would definitely be my books.
Yes.
I was kind of, I got distracted and didn't walk all of Artist Alley. Like I said, I feel bad because I can't afford to buy all the art and the artists are looking at you like, buy my thing. Like,
yeah,
it's $500 and I only have 2.
Right.
As Mike said, I wanted to buy you a thing, but I only have $2 and it's hard.
Yes.
What about you, Emily?
I don't think I picked anything up from this particular Gen Con at Artist Alley.
Okay.
I just love just looking at the art. Like I think one of my favorite all-time Artist Alley purchases was from Wizard World a couple of years ago, and it's an art print from The Walking Dead, and Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick, whenever he says his son Carl's name,
Coral,
it comes out Coral. So it's literally, this art is a piece of coral wearing a sheriff's hat.
Oh, yes.
Coral.
Yes, and I love it so much.
Oh my god, that's so great.
Yes.
So what was your favorite purchase period, like out of the whole dealer's hall?
I got some very pretty dice.
So I was stupid about the dice, and like I kept like hesitating I'm like, 'cause like there was that super heavy one that I really should have bought. I did not buy it, and I should have. And I came home and I was like, I didn't like all the shit I bought, and I didn't get the one thing other than the Octo mug that I wanted, which was an oversized dice. So I came home and I've been thinking about it for a while, and so finally I went online and I was like, where y'all buy dice from? Like, just put that on Twitter.
Chessex.
So I didn't go to Chessex. I went to, and I'm looking it up right now, Dark Elf Dice. All right, Dark Elf Dice, and they had a sparkly purple oversized dice. So I clicked buy on that so hard I probably broke my mouse. But then like a day later they messaged me and they apologized. Like they apologized 15 times in like 2 sentences, and I'm like, what's wrong? They're like, we are sold, like the inventory is wrong and we don't have any more of those purpley pink dice.
Oh, no.
So they were like, we can refund your money, parentheses, I'm so sorry, or we can, you can pick something else, parentheses, I'm really, really sorry. Just let us know what you want to do. And I'm like, I get the feeling that they get a lot of angry people because of the way that she apologized. And I was like, girl, it is no big. I've worked in retail. I know how off inventory can be. Here's what I need from you. Just pick another dice. I don't care. I like what are considered girly colors, or I like shiny. I love me some shiny. And she wrote me back with 15 thank yous.
Oh.
And she's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you 2 dice and a pouch to carry them in.
Oh my, that is so, I don't understand being shitty to game I don't understand being shitty to anyone personally who does retail, but don't be shitty to the game people. They're trying their best.
Right. And they were so nice. And like, stuff happens. I'm not going to be mad at you. And quite frankly, like I've been in retail. I technically work retail, but I don't have to deal with the public. I just deal with like the people that work with the public. So, but I worked retail for many, many, many years. And, it got to a point where like people couldn't be rude to me anymore. Cause like I would just give you like the like I'm not all the way here stare, like it like a completely blank stare, and if it was good enough, like a little drool would come out.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was bad. It was like they'd be yelling, and I would just be like staring at a point just beyond them, and I'd be like, manager, we'll find you a manager. I don't care. So, like, I understand completely. I would never be rude to anybody, but I'm lying right now because I'm about to be rude to Finish Line. But I have valid reasons. I worked for them. So, they were not to touch my shoes. And, like, I bought shoes from Macy's and they came from Finish Line. So they gotta go. Bitch, they gotta go. But yeah, so for Gen Con next year, if I do get to go, there's some things that need to be figured out. Like, we had 4-day passes, but we only went 1 day because we were slowly dying. And
Did you guys get sick before the con?
I was sick before the con. Like, I had con crud pre-con. I got it from my daughter, who brought it home from daycare, and that's a whole other story. But like, I would like to stay downtown and like be able to drop stuff off and maybe lay face down on a bed for 15 minutes.
Yes.
While my feet recover.
We should Airbnb it next year.
That's what I was thinking. But back to the Facebook page, like, people would Airbnb like right now. And then the closer they get to Gen Con, the Airbnb person is like, oh, I charge them regular price when this is like a premium price weekend. Let me go ahead and cancel their order. So that's what I'm concerned about.
Yes.
I had friends who, like, we got lucky with the lottery, so we were able to book inside the block and get the convention discount for the Hilton. Now, we preferred to stay at a non-connected hotel just because we like a little bit of a break from all the people. So we stayed at the Hilton near the Circle. We go down Wednesday just to unpack and relax and be there Wednesday night. We paid about $800 for our 4 days at the hotel. Our friends who booked outside the block got hosed.
Oh no.
One couple paid $2,000 for 4 nights. Someone else paid over $1,500 for their 4 nights. And the hotels were dickish. They had points, and because it was a premium weekend, the hotel would not let them use their points. So I'm pretty sure they got points for staying, but they were not allowed to use their points for rooms. So if you book outside the block, you are definitely guaranteed a hotel room downtown. However, you're going to pay out the nose for it.
Maybe we could put up a tent on the Circle. String some cable from Starbucks
Zip line in.
Yeah, just fly in. Yes! Plans are forming. I'm gonna talk to the Black Alaskan and I'm gonna be like, look, we need to stealth camp in the middle of the goddamn city. What you got for me? Logo, if you're listening, I need your help. I'm gonna contact you. Oh my god, what are we gonna do, y'all? I honestly, here's my preferred thing. We Airbnb a house. And that way, if our significant others want to come, I know husbando is not going to want to come to Gen Con. That ain't his cup of tea, but he gets a little tetchy when I'm gone for an extended amount of time because we have a Tasmanian devil for a child.
Yep.
And she gets a little lonely and she gets hyper focused and she's like, well, where's mama? Mama's gone for the weekend. She'll be back soon. Okay, so, but you're not. Where is she? She is not here with us. What do we need to do to fix this? And so that'll happen for 12 straight hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be nice. I don't know. Let me even get into the convention again next year. Let's try that. Let's start with that.
Well, the badges really don't sell out until a few days before, so it's not getting the badge, it's just trying to find somewhere to sleep for 4 days.
Well, so here's the deal. I was gunning for a press pass and was refused on the grounds that I had a press pass last year and they said that I didn't do anything with it. I didn't write articles or I didn't report on it. And when I sent the woman the articles that I wrote in addition to the podcast that I did about it, I never got a response again.
Oh, that's shady.
Yeah. And I want to call her out so bad right now, but I'm going to try for a press pass next year. So I don't think that's the best idea personally. So I don't know. That's one of the reasons why it took so long and why I didn't buy one. And it was a mess.
Well, I was surprised. I've been going for 16 years. I have never won 4-day passes. Emily enters one time and the bitch wins 4-day passes.
That was amazing.
I just looked at that. I was like, yep, this is my life. I don't win anything.
I was driving my kid to school, minding my black ass business, and a text comes in and my phone sits up on my dash and it's like, hey, look at this. Do you want to go? And me and Evelyn almost crossed the line and went flying into the air. And I'm like, you okay, baby? We good? You still good for school? Okay, it's biscuit day. You love biscuit day. And then I started weeping and went into work looking like Fantasia on that one gif where she's screaming and shaking her head no. And my boss doesn't even pay me any attention anymore. He's just because he knows
something happened on the internet.
yeah. He knows if it's something serious, I'll walk into his office and shut the door. If I'm just screaming and wailing for no goddamn reason, he's just whatever. Good morning. Good day. All right. Let's get it started. Woo. Go do your work. Go do something. Anything, please. God, I'm begging you. But no.
Oh my god.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up a little bit.
Oh.
So, we have about 2-ish minutes or so. Gina, you first. Give me a bit of advice that you would give to a first timer going to Gen Con.
Oh, 2 things. Wear very, very comfy shoes. Start walking like at least 2 months before. Do like a mile every day, maybe 2. You're gonna walk a lot.
Oh yeah.
Start saving now. I prefer to follow the financial diet. I changed the name of my savings account to Con Fund, so every time I looked at it, I knew not to touch it because that was skimming off my con money. Don't touch your con funds, kids.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Saved hard for that. Emily, you first time at Gen Con, what would you tell your past self?
Drink water. Just hydrate. Hydrate, you dumb bitch. Otherwise, you're gonna wake up at 1:03 in the morning screaming because your legs are vibrating.
This is why we're all kinked over in the hall. These are muscle spasms. Drink.
I got on the floor and my fat ass was not getting up. I'm like, well, fuck it, I live here now.
You saw it was standing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know if I get down on that floor, that's where the fuck I'm gonna stay.
I told Jason I felt bad. I was like, Jason, I think I killed my friends. I was like, we go backpacking. We're used to walking 14 miles in a day. I killed them.
It's fine. We're fine. We're good. I went to work. I was robust. It was like, actually, no, I lied. Sunday, I laid on the couch all day with a dog on top of my head. So, it was rough. It was rough going, but we made it through. So we will get you guys links and everything and in the show notes. And that's about it. So until next time, bye.
Bye.
Hey there. Thank you for tuning in. Geeky Girls Night In is brought to you by me, Leslie. Special thanks to Quinzel. Shouts out to Kim, Emily, and Mecca, who are always willing to give a helping hand. Do you like the show? Wishing there was something you could do to support? Help us out by buying us a cup of coffee. Go to coffee.com/geekygirlsni to pledge a cup or two for the show. That's ko-fi.com/geekygirls, N as in Nancy, I. Your support helps keep the lights on in the dungeon and the podcast on the air. Special thanks to Michelle. She's our first donor. You can check out other writings or interesting tidbits on Geeky Life at geekygirlguide.com. Until next time,